sorry. I do this for y'all. We're sweating and stuff. Oh my goodness, it's hot. This is the question that I didn't want to put in the last Q&A video because I knew I'd be talking about it for a minute and I didn't want to make that video way too long, although it probably is long anyway. But this is from Julie Price, and the question was, what are some of your fears while going at it alone, and were they well-founded? So I wanted to make this a separate video, not just because of the question, but because I want to hit on this topic because I see it a lot with people who travel alone or people who are considering traveling alone. And yeah, so some of my fears while going at this alone. I don't like to have fears per se. And like people say, it's like an acronym, false evidence appearing real. It's not really real, but we dwell on it so much that we make it our reality, and then we fear that thing. But I mean, there are, of course, real fears. Like if your life is in danger, you're going to be fearful for your life, and you're going to go into a survival, a fight or flight mode type of a thing. But I want to talk about like the fears we make ourselves, or we focus so much on that it becomes something big in our lives, and it inhibits us and it keeps us frozen where we are. And this is where I see a lot of people. You know, I follow a lot of Facebook pages with solo travelers that travel around the whole world, travelers in RVs that are solo, female travelers in vans that are solo. You know, all these different types of groups on Facebook and websites and stuff that people that are like me, that are alone, that travel. And so a lot of them have fears. And again, it's not being ignorant of things that can happen, but that's not what I'm saying. But I see a lot of people that have had things happen in their lives that dictate how they feel right now, and a lot of that is fear. And it's fear that things are going to happen to them because other things have happened in the past, or they've seen other things happen, or they watch the news, which is not a good thing, and it's all this negative stuff, and they think somebody's going to cut their heads off and whatever else. Or I mean, and people have good founding things because they probably experienced some crazy stuff in their lives. You know, I've experienced some stuff, but I've been fortunate enough not to have experienced some of the stuff that a lot of people have experienced that are very traumatizing. And those are things that, like, you're not ready to do this lifestyle at that point. And I'm sorry to say that to you, but you have to, if you don't fix it now, it's not going to be changed when you move into the van. It's not going to miraculously change your belief system or the way you see the world. Like I said in the other Q&A video, living a simpler lifestyle will help change your life. And you should start there. Start eliminating things in your home. Start getting away from people who are nothing but negative people and who down your dreams and down things that you say. Get away from those people. If you have to be alone, be alone. But you really need to focus on yourself in here and in here. Because I believe that here is the battlefield right now. Like, this is what's going on right now in our world. Here, and yes, in here, but this is affected by here too. And this affects this. So you have to change your mindset. You have to change the way you see the world. You may feel like you're lying to yourself for a while because you've experienced so many traumatizing things in your life, to where you think you're lying to yourself because you have seen the world this way for so long, that when you try and say, well, maybe it is this way, or try and develop this different belief system, you feel like you're lying to yourself. And trust me, I understand that. But you've lied to yourself enough already, so much that you believe this, you believe in this fear and this stuff. That's why you believe that, because you had to convince yourself that. You were conditioned to believe this through the things that happen in your life, through the stuff that you put into yourself, because you're watching the news, because you're listening to whatever it is that you're listening to, because you're reading whatever it is you're reading. Eliminate those things and put only the good things in front of you. Now, I'm not saying life's going to be peaches and cream and unicorns and rainbows, but it's a start, and then it will build on that. But you can't go into this lifestyle having a fearful mentality already where you are. You have to change your mentality first. You have to change your environment where you are first before you move into this lifestyle. Because if you do, you're not going to last long because you're going to be afraid all of the time. I have come to a point in life where I feel like things happen for a reason. You may not agree with me on that, but it is what it is. This is my life, and this is how I believe. So, and whether you see it now or not, I feel like things happen for a reason later down the line, whether it's for you or it's for someone else. But if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at home. It's going to happen in the van. It's going to happen in the store. It's going to happen at your job. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's meant to happen in your life, it's going to happen. And so if something were going to happen to me, I can do everything that I can to prevent that, but it will happen. You ever seen Final Destination? Kind of like that. Like, you can't really, run from death. So I'm not going to be ignorant, and I'm not going to be stupid and make dumb decisions. I'm going to be aware, but I'm not going to live in fear. I try to eliminate that. I have a spirit and a mind of power and of love, and a sound mind, so I try not to think in that way. But my suggestions are to take those fears or whatever it is you're afraid of and figure out how you can prevent it or how you can eliminate it or whatever it is. My thing is prepare for natural disasters, prepare for some type of catastrophic event, prepare for your car to break down, prepare for you to lose your job. If you are prepared, when these things happen, you're in a better situation, so that's all you can do anyway, that's all you can do, like, we can sit here, we can worry, but what can you do about it? You're just wasting your time at that point. Like I said, so just prepare, and then after you prepare, live your life without the fear. Like I said, don't be stupid. Use your gut instinct. We have that. We can feel things. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't go into a sketchy place. Those are smart decisions that are easy to make, and you don't have to worry too much about it. And then if you're prepared on top of that for a situation that does come up, have your emergency food stash, have your water, have your weapons or whatever, have whatever it is that you need for those situations, those tools and whatever you need, so that you are as prepared as you can be, and then leave it at that. Leave it to God. You can't do anything more than that. So I'm not going to sit here and stress and worry about that and be fearful on it. I'm going to go live my life now. So I just see a lot of people in these groups and forums and stuff that have had traumatic events, or they just have a negative outlook on life because of whatever happened to them, or that's just our outlook on life. And they have a lot of fear, or they try and down others. And like I said, you have to really address it where you are right now, because it won't change on the road. You have to address it now. You will build more confidence on the road. Yes, that will happen. But you can't just jump into it if you're fearful of a lot of things right now. Like I said, just be as prepared as you can, and then leave the rest to God, or whatever it is you believe in. Because that's all you can do. If you can't do anything else, then why sit there and worry about it? Like, you're just wasting your time, other people's time, and your aura, whatever it is you want to call it, that energy you have around you, you're putting that off to other people. And you wonder why people don't want to be around you. You wonder why people won't take your advice. You have to fix this. All this. You have to do that first. I think that should be a big focus. A lot of people will jump into this lifestyle and they're not very prepared for it. And yeah, I jumped into it a bit, but I'm a person, like I've said before, that works on myself anyway, so this was a good way for me to continue to work on myself. But as far as the fear, I know you can't do this with fear, because you're going to be afraid every night, and that's no way to live. you won't enjoy it. So why do this? So yeah. As far as that, of course, they're well-founded fears. The one, so like, if I fear, and going in this, my fears would be, of course, the basics of somebody could look at me and see that I'm a solo traveler and want to harm me because I'm by myself. That, or, the van could break down. Like, those are my two main things that could be a challenge. And are they well-founded? Yes, because that can happen to anybody who's traveling alone, no matter where you're going, what you're in. So I feel like they are well-founded, but I don't dwell on them. I am prepared as much as I can be, and then after that, I don't think about it. I'm smart about my decisions, and then I live my life. So I didn't mean to go in on this, Julie. I know you're just asking probably a basic question, but like I said, I've seen this a lot, so I really want to address this because I'm sure somebody out there is probably watching this that has these feelings, and I really think that you need to address that first before you move forward with anything else. Some of you may have like really deep issues that you need to address before you do this lifestyle, because like things will happen and they'll happen around you. You could hear people talking and doing stuff, and if you're like paranoid and you're freaking out, again, you're not going to survive in this. Like, it's not going to be a good way to live. You might as well stay where you're at now, and just take a few random trips here or there. But if you do have these deep issues, then you need to seek help if you haven't already. And if you have, keep working towards it. Put good things in front of you, all around you, and keep that in front of you, and work towards changing your outlook on life. Work towards changing this, developing this, strengthening this, and this. You have to have confidence when you do this. And it will grow. Like I said, it will continue to grow, but you really have to work on it right now if you don't already have it. So that's my suggestion as far as that, and my thoughts on fear. But yeah, thank you for asking the question, because I'm sure it'll help a few people out there. I hope I made sense to you all. I like to ramble, but I do like to talk about different topics. So again, any questions that you have for me, it can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about living in the van or where I am right now, what I'm going to do. Like, it can be any question and I'll answer it. But I like different topics, and I like to help people, like I said before. So if you think you can help someone else, or if it can help you, I'm not, a guru, or I don't have a PhD or anything like that, but I will give my opinion on it, and maybe it could help someone, because whatever I experience, maybe they experience it too, or something similar. So yeah, ask those questions if you have them, and thank you for sticking around, and going into the next video.